Hello students, welcome to geography class. We are going to explain today chapter 2 atmosphere part 2. After previous class we are going to cover the next points. First take a look that we are going to cover which points today. First we are going to understand what is greenhouse effect, then we are going to understand global warming, then what are the different sources of greenhouse gases, what are the impact. The word impact means result, consequences. We are going to study the impacts of global warming, then what are the ways to reduce global warming, then we are going to study about the ozone layer and what are the importance to the earth, then we are going to study about the impact of ozone depletion, and next the effects to prevent ozone depletion. Okay, so let's start today's lesson. First we are going to understand that what is greenhouse effect. Look at the diagram over here. See, this is the earth surface, okay, and this layer is atmosphere. Okay, that layer that surrounds the earth, that is atmosphere. We have already studied in detail about atmosphere. Now our today's topic is greenhouse effect. So what is the greenhouse effect? In previous class we have studied about the earth's heating process. First of all, we are going to learn that some of this heat, that see, these are the radiation that are coming from the sun towards the earth. Some of this heat is absorbed by the greenhouse gases. See, here is another layer is here, that is greenhouse gases layer. See, this is nitrous oxide, methane, CO2, H2O means water vapor. These things are considered as greenhouse substance, and these things create another layer, that is the greenhouse gases layer. Now some of the heats that are coming from the sun, solar radiation, that are absorbed by the greenhouse gases. See, these are the gases, and doesn't escape to outer space, and this prevent the earth from becoming excessively cold at night. This is basically known as greenhouse effect. We know the regular process that some percentage of heat is coming up towards the earth, and that particular percentage is also go to the outer space. Thus the balance of the earth's temperature is in equable condition or moderate condition, but because of the excessive of greenhouse gases, the solar radiation are absorbed by these greenhouse gases, and the temperature of the earth day by day is increasing. Basically this whole thing is known as greenhouse effect, and over the years the heat trapping gases called greenhouse gases have increased in the atmosphere, and the regular temperature of the earth is day by day increasing. This thing is basically known as global warming. Now our next topic is sources of greenhouse gases. We are going to study what are the different sources of greenhouse gases and how it is harmful for the global warming, or how it is responsible for the global warming. First of all, take a look to the greenhouse gases. Yes, these four things are major greenhouse gases: CO2, methane, nitrous oxide, H2O, or water vapor. Basically H2O is you know that this is considered as water, but water is not the greenhouse gases. Water vapor is greenhouse gases. Why these four are considered as greenhouse gases? Because these four elements are having a capacity of absorbing the earth's temperature. Okay, so our next topic is sources of greenhouse gases, right? The sources. First study the sources of greenhouse gases. Look at the table that is given in your book. First of all, CO2 is coming from which sources? See, burning of fossil fuel. You know the fossil fuel means coal or petroleum, etc. Burning of fossil fuel in industries and for transportation and deforestation. Next is methane. Basically methane are coming from natural wetland, livestock waste, paddy field, etc. Next is nitrogen oxide, that is coming coming from the use of chemical fertilizer and again burning of fossil fuel. Next is ozone. Ozone itself is a greenhouse gases. Ozone is coming from, transported from the ozone layer. CFC or chlorofluorocarbon, that is coming from the liquid coolants in refrigerator, aerosol and foam use CFC. So these are the sources of greenhouse gases. Next is what are the causes of global warming? Okay, we have studied global warming. Basically global warming means the regular increasing rate of temperature of the earth. Okay, so that thing is global warming. Now we are going to study in detail what are the different causes of global warming. Look at the first sub point, that is burning of fossil fuel. I have already told you that fossil fuel means the coal and petroleum. How this coal and petroleum is responsible for global warming? Because of the burning of the coal and petroleum, large amount of CO2 are produced. Okay, so this thing basically is responsible for global warming. How this fossil fuel are useful? You all know that this fossil fuel are useful in vehicular traffic, in different industries and power plant. So after industrial revolution, the consumption of this fossil fuel is increased, and this is a major issue for the causes of global warming. Next is harmful. Next subpoint is harmful emission from industries and vehicles. Not only CO2, industries are emitting regularly nitrogen, sulfur, methane that also pollute the air, and rapid urbanization and industrialization have increased industrial and vehicular pollution significantly, and that increased the rate of the global warming. Next is deforestation. You all know that trees or forest cover are a major carbon sink. So in their absence, the carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere will increase, and which trap the heat in the atmosphere, leading to global warming. Next is excessive rearing of farm animals. Now, how this point is responsible for global warming? See this, when the farm animal digest their food, methane is produced in their stomach, which is released in the atmosphere through their dung. By this, they are also responsible for the global warming. Now move on to the next subtopic, that is fertilizer. Artificial nitrogen is frequently used as a fertilizer for crop. Some of the nitrogen is released in the atmosphere as nitrogen oxide, and this nitrogen oxide is a very important greenhouse gases. These are the basic causes of the global warming. Our next topic is what are the impact or the result of the global warming. Basically, global warming is having only destructive impact. Destructive means it is causing Earth's destruction. Okay, whether it is on animal kind, whether it is on plant life, or whether it is on human life. Okay, so we are going to study how Earth is regularly being distracted by the global warming. First of all, high temperature lead to the higher evaporation rate and drying up the soil and the surface water. It affects crop production, and it affects also drought, or aggravating the problem even further. First impact is this one. Next is the heat waves in summer months lead to a greater number of deaths due to the heart stroke. They also cause the spread of vector-borne disease such as malaria, dengue, etc. These malaria, dengue, etc. kind of diseases are maximally spread on the month of summer when the temperature is very high. Forest fire become more frequent. If you are following the news, you may notice the variant example of forest fire nowadays. Then tropical cyclone and hurricane become a common occurrence as rainfall patterns changes. This is also a common impact of global warming. Now next thing is, this is the most important impact of global warming, melting of glaciers. Okay, you know that we are having two poles that are fully covered by glacier. Basically, what are glaciers are like large ice slabs. Okay, and because of the temperature is gradually increasing, these ice slabs are gradually and slowly melting, and when it is being melted, what will be the result? The result will be the level of the ocean will be increased, and many coastal city as well, many coastal town may submerged. Okay, so look at the example affecting both permanent ice sheets in Arctic and Antarctic region. Arctic means the northern pole, Antarctic region means the southern pole. These are the snow-capped mountain. This increase the volume of water in ocean may also result in the flooding along river bank, and again many animal and marine life are staying on that particular polar region that will lose their natural habitat. Look at this point. Due to the increase in sea surface temperature, sea level rise in the coastal areas and cause submergence of the several islands. This leads to the ecological and cultural loss, and also gives rise to the problem of climatic refugees. What does the word means? Because of the climatic problem, many animals like this polar bear or penguin or seal that will lose their natural habitat, and they will become climatic refugee. Along with the animal, many primitive people are living on that areas. Like you may listen to this term that Eskimo is living in the northern pole, right? So they will, if the polar region, the ice cells will be melted, they will lose their own habitat, okay, and become climatic refugees. Next is, due to the rise in the ocean temperature, coral reef will be destroyed. This greatly affect the marine ecosystem. It is also predicted that more than 1 million species will experience loss of habitat and will gradually become endangered and extinct. Endangered means the number of that population will day by day will be decreased, and extinct means that particular species of plant or animal with whatever it is that will be permanently vanished. Okay, so next topic is, what are the ways by which we can reduce the level of the global warming. Look at the first point. First of all, we need to decrease the emission of the greenhouse gases by reducing the burning of the fossil fuels such as coal and petroleum. Okay, next thing, the next point is afforestation. By planting more and more trees to increase forest cover, we can reduce excessive release of the carbon dioxide in the air. Next is, we should switch to the eco-friendly car and gadget. For example, cars that run on electricity rather than fossil fuel are becoming popular all over the world. Okay, we need to switch to the eco-friendly gadget and eco-friendly car or etc. so that we can reduce the level of the pollution. Then next is, we can save in electricity and reduce global warming by turning off electrical gadgets such as light, fan, air conditioner, television, computer, which we do not intend to use them. Like you know that air conditioners are the sources of CFC, right? If we are like switching off the air conditioner, then we can also reduce the level of the emission of the CFC. Next, efforts should be made to hasten the development of the green cities or eco-cities. Green cities or eco-cities are the concept that are taken for the environmental, for just to reduce the environmental damage. These cities are urban areas around the world striving to lessen the environmental impact of urbanization by reducing waste, encouraging recycling, lowering emission level, as well as reducing levels of the air. So some example of green cities are Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Stockholm, Vancouver, London, Berlin, New York, Singapore, Helsinki and Oslo. These are the example of the green cities. Basically, these green cities are taken just to reduce the environmental pollution, and these are having some concept like recycling, lowering emission level, and etc. Okay, next topic is by following 3R. This 3R means what? Reduce, recycle, and reuse. This strategy we can use on natural resources for our growth as well as save them for the need of the future generation. Basically, this thing is also called as sustainable development. This reduce, recycle, and reuse strategy is applicable on every kind of natural resources. We also have to reduce the use of the natural resource. Then we need to learn how we can recycle the natural resource. Then also the reuse strategy is also very much applicable for the natural resource, by which we can reach to the level of sustainable development. We must reduce the use of the natural resources so that they do not get depleted. We must reuse resources instead of throwing them away after each use. We must recycle or convert waste materials into new products, changing them from their original form by physical and chemical processes. Then, very important topic, that is the ozone layer and its importance. Okay, so we already have studied that ozone is present in the stratosphere, right? That is why the stratosphere is also known as ozonosphere. Now, what is the importance of ozone? Why ozone is very much important to us? Because the ozone layer or ozone gas itself can absorb the UVA or UVB that is coming from the sun. UVA, UVB means ultraviolet rays that are very harmful for the earth as well as human and plant and animal life. So ozone has a very important role to our survival to the earth. Now this ozone is nowadays in very much dangerous condition. How? In Antarctica, that is in southern pole, we noticed one very large hole on ozone layer on there. That means ozone is depleting day by day. So what are the factors that are depleting ozone? We are dividing the ozone depleting substance in two categories. The categories are human made greenhouse gas and greenhouse gases. Basically, look at here that human made greenhouse gas is having two categories, that is CFC, chlorofluorocarbon, and another is halogens. Okay, so CFC is the most powerful greenhouse gas. Why? Because they remain in the atmosphere for around 100 years or more. So it is very much powerful compared to these things, this CO2, CH4, N2O and H2O. Okay. And move on to the natural greenhouse gases, that are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide and water vapor. Okay. You can look over here the sources of this CFC, like refrigerator, air conditioner and electronic gadget. These are responsible for the ozone gas depletion. Next is release of aerosol from spray can, fire extinguisher, jet aircraft and solvent cleaners also contribute towards the generation of ODS, ozone depleting substance. Volcanic eruption also contribute to the ozone depletion, whether volcanic eruption is a natural made causes but rest of the others are man-made causes. So we need to stop this if we want to save ozone layer. Although the process has been taking place for several years, the ozone layer was repairing itself naturally. Nowadays also, due to this worldwide lockdown, the ozone layer is repairing itself naturally because due to the reduced level of environmental pollution. With the marked increase in the emission of chlorofluorocarbon, the ozone hole above Antarctica and some other places of the earth is becoming a permanent feature. So what are the impact or result of ozone depletion? First of all, if the ozone layer will not be there, the UVA, the harmful UVA and infrared rays that cause skin cancer, cataract in the eyes and also suppress immunity. Okay, we will suffer by this. Then the rays adversely affect plants. This is observed from their stunted growth. They can penetrate through water and destroy aquatic plant and animals too. Then what are the effort to prevent ozone depletion? Okay, our government as well as United Nations has taken many steps to prevent the ozone depletion. Among them, we will study about the Montreal Protocol. Like several countries meet in the city of Montreal, that is in Canada, on 16 September 1987 to agree to the Montreal Protocol. What was the chief objective of the Montreal Protocol? It was discussed there to reach a global agreement to reduce the production of the ozone depleting substance. As a result, the ozone layer is slowly recovering. All over the world, 16 September is celebrated as the World Ozone Day to bring about awareness about the preservation of the ozone layer. We should purchase products that are labeled ozone friendly or CFC free. These are the steps that we can take to save our ozone layer as well as our earth. Okay. So after this is today's lesson, then we will meet in our next class. Till then, keep studying.